Welcome to my virtual background, which is a painting by Dan Jones. Some of you may remember he was formerly the Secretary of Tower Hamlets Trades Council when I first moved to London. It's a painting of the Grumwick picket line. And what I like about it in particular, not just the commemoration of the Grumwick, but also in the top corner, you can see the FBU's banner there. So that's explaining my virtual background. Welcome to the conference of the online conference of the Labour Representation Committee. I'm Matt Wrack. I'm the General Secretary of the Fire Brigade Union. I'm also the Chair of the LRC. Obviously, this is an online conference, and with all the potential glitches that go with that, we have a team who've put together a conference arrangements committee and technical support who've put together the conference, and I would ask comrades to cooperate with them. We will need to be very strict on time, and I'd ask people to cooperate with that. And we hopefully will get through the business as is necessary. I think I did see that Mick is now here. I did want to, we have a couple of comrades I just wanted to mention in particular. Mick Brooks, our political secretary, who's undertaken fantastic work for us as the LRC over the past year and has had some health issues recently, so won't be presenting his report this year. I'm sure everyone wishes Mick well, but I see that I did see his name pop up on the video, so he is watching and listening to the discussion. Also, Ben Sellers was due to therefore cover for him, but I believe that Ben is now also ill. So Kathy Augustine will be presenting the NEC's statement to conference later in the business. I just want to say a couple of things about the conference. Obviously, the LRC is a long-standing part of the Labour left, and we've been through some tumultuous times over the past few years. We've seen the election of the most left-wing leader in Labour Party history, and then we've seen, of course, some setbacks for the left in the more recent leadership election. Most of us, I suspect, would have supported Rebecca Long Bailey in that campaign, but of course we saw the victory of Keir Starmer, and we're still assessing all the implications of what that means. I know there are debates among sections of the left about whether that means the building of the Labour left is over, and people, there certainly are anecdotally some people leaving the Labour Party on the back of those developments. I think for me, we need to put things in perspective, and I just was prompted to think about coming to LRC conferences 10 years ago compared with today. And the truth is this, that whatever setbacks we've had over the past year, we are still in a much stronger position for the left than we were a decade ago. And just one little example of that is in relation to my own union, the Fire Brigade Union, which, as you know, disaffiliated from Labour in 2004. We reaffiliated on the back of Corbyn's election. But when I was attending the LRC conference 10 years ago, generally there would be me and possibly one other comrade attending. Today we've come with, I think, 17 FBU activists who are participating in the conference today. People who I think without the Corbyn surge would many of them probably would not be members of the Labour Party. So I think there is, despite setbacks, there is nevertheless causes for optimism and determination. And of course, we're meeting as we come to terms with the COVID crisis, the impact of COVID in terms of a political debate around what sort of society we live in, a crisis that's highlighted the inequalities in society, but also the role that workers have played. It's workers who, on the one hand, have borne the brunt of the COVID crisis, but it's also workers very clearly who have seen us through the crisis, not simply public sector workers in health, but many hundreds and hundreds of thousands of public sector workers, but also those in the private sector, the people who process food, who work in delivery and transport, who work in our retail sector. It's very clearly highlighted the role of working people, and there are battles to be fought as we hold the government to account for failures, in my view, disastrous failures over the handling of the coronavirus pandemic, but also as we fight to change the direction of politics for the future. So I think there is lots to be debated, and that's what we're here to do today in the LRC conference.